take complete advantage of that turnover for 6 points, and that's what Coach Javs and company has their mindset on. As I'm looking down, and it looks to be a lot more serious than we think here up in the booth, Chris, as their player is not moving at all right now.
I'll tell you what, Brian, that Mountie defense hits hard, and when you come into a collision with a Mount SAC defender, it's going to leave a mark. And unfortunately here for the tight end down on the field, Austin Beltran, who fumbled that football, he is still being attended to by the medical staff. He has not gotten up yet. And that's probably the most concerning thing for Chaffey College right now. Never mind the fact that they're down by 10, and Mount SAC has a 1st and goal at the Panther 3. They're more worried about Austin Beltran down on the field right now, and along with their backup tight end, Trayvon Carter as well, both suffering injuries on back-to-back plays here.
Yeah, and I'm just looking down, trying to get a better look, as it is Coach Javs in the mix, tending to the injured player as well, making sure that he will be okay, because you don't want to see anyone injured in any game, and it's unfortunate for the Panthers to have some of their key players get injured so quickly in this game, and not, anything minor is already a concern, and this is obviously a little bit more of a major injury here as they continue to attend to him. Let's hope he's okay.
Well, Brian, we're going to send it over to Nick Rice with some scores from around the JUCO world, as the medical staff of both schools and both coaches as well. Now it looks like they're going to send out a stretcher for Beltran, the tight end. We're going to pass it over to Nick Rice, our statistician. That's too big of a word for me.
That's how you say it.
Nick, you got some scores for us while we wait for this injury time.
This is never the moment of the game where I mention mention scores, but Mount SAC's trying to improve to 4-0, right? They're trying to stay unbeaten, and they have their first divisional game today, and obviously things have turned real south for Chaffey right now, not in the scoreboard, but in the injury department. Austin Beltran, the man that actually looks to be pretty big. He seems to have the size and the strength, but he has 1 catch for 3 yards, 2 drops, and a fumble. I mean, that is not the way to start the conference play, per se, for Chaffey, but Mount SAC's also competing with a couple other teams from around the league. It looks like it'll be a final score between Citrus and El Camino. El Camino at 2-1 on the season. Meanwhile, Citrus at 1-2. But Citrus college, they seem to have pulled off the upset. We do not have a final, but it's a 21-14 score out of El Camino, which means that both squads would drop to 2-2. And given that Mount SAC wins, it'd be Mount SAC that has a 2-game lead already over those two schools. Meanwhile, Long Beach College, we do not have a score out of that school. They are currently 3-0, looking to stay on pace with Mount SAC, and boy, it would have definitely been hard as the injury was coming. I would have been completely shocked if Riverside, following the bye week, would already be a game and a half back, but that seems to be the case between juggernauts Long Beach and Mount SAC. We'll send it back over to Chris and Brian.
Thanks, Nick. The injured player down on the field, Beltran, was able to get up off of his own power. He'll still be taken away in a stretcher just for precautionary purposes, but that is a good sign, to say the least, to see him get up on his own power.
It's a great sign. I was using my binoculars there, and he was kind of shaking his head as if to say, dang, I had a hard time, and that was his knee. So it's a good sign for him to walk off the field on his own power. It's too bad that he will be more than likely gone for the rest of the game. I don't see him returning, but that is a very positive sign for him to walk off on his own field.
Well, for Chaffey College, there are no other tight ends on the roster other than the 2 that were just injured on consecutive plays.
They'll have to convert one of their receivers.
First to go, the Mounties,
Go with a different formation. So after the fumble, recovered by Taekwon Glass and taken to the 3. It's a first and goal for the Mounties. I formation. Morris Tolbert, the deep back. He'll get the handoff here. Goes straight up the gut. And he's down inside the 1 at the half-yard line. It'll be second and goal for the Mounties. A power running attack with Morris Tolbert, who already has 1 touchdown in tonight's ball game. That's what the Mounties are turning to here.
That's Nate, the fullback, 5'11", 240. That was on that last touchdown drive also for Tolbert.
Gets the handoff here, and this time Chaffey all over it. They'll take him down into the backfield at the 2-yard line. That's coming from Mount SAC. Will be a third and goal.
That was a big stop by Talua Atu-Afi.
They're killing us.
Defensive lineman, 6 foot, 300 pounds out of Upland. He is a first-year player.
And we do have another Chaffey College Panther down on the field. This appears to be number 69. Let me try this pronunciation. Napoleon. That was easy. Tafimena.
Not bad.
Tafahima. Napoleon Tafahima. Now being attended to by the medical staff, and Chaffey College is just getting absolutely beat up on these last 5 plays, offense and defense.
You know, you don't want to see anyone seriously injured, like I mentioned before. So another big player for Chaffey down on the ground right now. As I think you mentioned he was a defensive lineman there, Chris?
Yeah, defensive lineman, sophomore out of Colton High School in Colton, California. Once again, this appears to be a somewhat serious injury, as now the Mountie medical staff is going to attend to the injured Chaffey College Panther, Tafahima. This 13-3 Mount SAC, 10 minutes left to go in the second quarter. But Chaffey College, they've suffered their fair share of injuries, to say the least, so far in this ball game. Once we get back to action, it'll be a third and goal for the Mounties at the Panther 2. But the medical training staffs of both schools still attending to Tafahima, the defensive lineman, 6'2", not 6'02", but he's close, 380.
That's a big guy right there. So, you know, with these D linemen, any linemen really, you are concerned about any knee or ankle issue as far as someone landing on top of your ankle or leg, bending the opposite way of what's it's supposed to bend. So, you know, these linemen are such big guys out here on the playing field that you kind of forget how serious it is when they go down. So we'll see what happens.
A lot of injuries here in this second quarter. We'll stay with you here on the National Sports Radio Station, an affiliate of Spreaker.com. I'm Tabajay. Chris Sylvester here with you on the first JUCO Saturday of the autumn season.
Of the conference season.
Of the conference season, more importantly.
So more importantly,
I mark my calendar for conference seasons, not actual seasons.
Seasons in change for the year. Yeah, it's out here in Southern California, it's hard to tell between summer and winter and fall and spring. So it is fall here, and it looks like the young man's going to get helped off the field. He is on his own feet and own power.
We need a cart to be carting off the field. So we've had to use the stretcher and the cart in the last 2 minutes here at Hilmer Lodge. You never want to use any of those things other than transporting around people that don't feel like walking.
Yeah.
They want to walk. They definitely want to walk.
So for the Mount SAC defense, they've been stopped two times here with Tolbert. I'm a big fan of play action towards the goal line. Why don't more teams do that? Especially if you have a back that is there that can threaten like Tolbert and the rest of the team. I want to see some play action here for the offensive unit.
Nick Rice, voice of the RCC Tigers. He's keeping stats for us tonight.
Well, that's it, right?
He's giving us scores tonight, but he's just, I'm sure, dying over there trying to give his insight as well.
No, I will say the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens do that. Flacco play action.
Yeah.
Over the middle. Bolden did that a lot. Sorry, that's it.
And NFL comparisons from a wonderful statistician team. Third and goal here for Mount Sac. Ball at the Chaffey 2. Snap is back. Allo rolls out to his right, throws towards the end zone, and it's incomplete. He was going for Steven Short, the tight end, but that was not an accurate pass, to say the least.
Well, he had him wide open for a very, very small window in the corner of that end zone, did Allo. So, we'll look to be a little bit more precise possibly on the next opportunity on the offensive drive. But he did have a small window as he was sailing more so towards out of bounds was the tight end for Mount Sac, Short.
So on a 4th and goal, the Mounties are going to send out the field goal unit.
Field goal attempt by number 78.
Alberto Villarreal, 1 for 2 on the night in PATs, but you can blame the poor snap on the last one. This kick is up, and it is good, but hold your horses. As Villarreal was hit after the field goal went through the uprights. If this is a roughing the kicker penalty on Chaffey College, the Mount Sac offense is going to be able to come out onto the field here in a 1st and goal situation. We'll wait from the call. That would be big time. It is roughing the kicker. And it's going to be 1st and goal for the Mounties. So you do take the 3 points off the scoreboard. And they tell you to never take points off the scoreboard. But in this situation right here, right now, it's definitely the right decision to send your offense back out onto the field. The Mounties going to have a 1st and goal at the Chaffey College 1.
I'm telling you, if they run any play action right now, it's 6 points. Just saying. Give me some play action here for a touchdown. Can I get some? Tolbert and Bay again in the power I formation.
Tolbert, the deep back in the eye. They'll get the handoff here. Gets up the middle, dives for that goal line. Did he get in? Is the big question. Yes, he did. Touchdown, Mounties. It took the officials just about forever to make the call. Had to separate the pile at the goal line. But the call is a TD, 2nd of the night for Omaris Tolbert. And the roughing the kicker penalty, that comes back to bite Chaffey College.
Well, there's been so many key plays for the Chaffey team here tonight. Roughing the kicker penalty, the fumble on the previous offensive drive there, the high snap that also led to a touchdown. The block.
Well, this time there's a block PAT, and Chaffey College going to take this one all the way back into the end zone. This is going to be 2 points for the Panthers. So Mount Sac, they're 1 for 3 on point after tries tonight.
Number 7, Josh O's.
And Josh O's, who's the 3rd string quarterback on this team, Brian, scooped up that football and brought it back, and the score now 19-5.
Well, hey,
with 9:35 left to go before the half.
It's not a common score there on the football scoreboard, but hey, any points is a positive for this Chaffey's team as they're trying to find their way back into this game, down by 14. So a big play by Chaffey. Let's see if that sparks them offensively as well, or wakes up the Mounties defense, or continues to somewhat contain this Chaffey offense here so far tonight.
Well, here's the thing about that, Brian. You talk about the field goal that Mount Sac would have had, but of course he had the roughing the kicker penalty on Chaffey College. Mount Sac only got 1 extra point out of that touchdown.
That's true. Pretty odd.
It would have been a 15-point lead
at
18-3. But because the PAT was returned for Chaffey College, the score now 19-5. So it is a 2-touchdown lead, 14 points for the Mounties.
I'm trying to remember right now if I've seen that play in college football, period. A blocked PAT and run back.
I've actually seen it here at the JUCO level a couple of times.
I've never seen that. I'm trying to think right now. I don't think I've ever seen it.
I think I've seen it.
I'm glad you're on the call because I probably would have called that 6